Today's practice will be really about bringing in the light. And fortunately, we have a beautiful day out today where the sun is shining, and we can really embrace that. It's a multi-level class today, so grab your props as necessary. And let's just take a moment to find a comfortable seated posture. And a beautiful way of looking at this is, what is comfort for you right now in this moment? Because oftentimes when we look forward to the new year or a new project or a new relationship, the tendency is to leap ahead, and it can get quite overwhelming at times or completely unrealistic and everything else in between. So think of it as a moment to moment. And that's certainly easier said than experienced or practiced. But let's start here with the breath, closing the eyes. And just begin to turn the light inward. As you inhale and exhale, feel that life force of the breath breathing you. And in honor of our new year and the sunshine today and the light, what does light mean to you? Allow this to be just about a minute of inquiry. And since we have a longer class today, you're certainly welcome to have a journal handy in case insights come up or things you would like to remember. My hope is to take you on a journey that's a little deeper today in a longer class. So what does light mean to you in your life, in this current manifestation of you in the world? And would you like to bring more of that into this moment, into your life? Maybe that's joy. What is available for you in 2022, and what would you like to cultivate? Just take another 30 seconds or so, no rush, and just, there might be a few things, and that's okay. This is an opportunity to observe what's going on inside without judgment. Think of it just as awareness. Now, we will bring in some sound today. No worries about needing to have a quote unquote good voice or knowing the words. There'll be simple sounds, and sound is so important, as the vibration is like an internal yoga practice. It tends to loosen up some of the stuck habits that are coding on the inside, or maybe open up into a new level of awareness. And maybe there's some stuckness that you'd like to move through from 2021, oh so 2021 ago. And this sound practice will reference the chakra system. In the chakra system that I was trained in, there are 7 points. And I look at them as energy points, like trailheads, a way to move in more deeply along the path. Some of you might know these as the bija, sound mantras that are connected to each chakra. So there's 7 of them, and they are associated not only with the body parts, but an energetic quality, as well as oftentimes an organ or color, emotion, thoughts, and so much more. But today we'll focus on the sound qualities and the energies associated with that. So before we come into the sound, let's walk our hands forward and shift our hips back into a child's pose. Let's walk our knees behind our hips first, and just allow your hips to glide towards your heels. Knees can be a little wider, big toe knuckles touching, and let the head gently float towards the floor. And of course, you can bring a block underneath your forehead as well. Now, breathing here. Feel that whole body breathe. Feel the side body stretch. And then walk the fingertips forward as you gaze forward slightly. Press the palms down, and as you push the fingers in, shift back a little bit more as your tailbone reaches towards your heels. Feel the stretch along the spine. We use the spine as a guideline for the 7 chakras to align themselves with, starting from the base of the spine, first chakra, second chakra, somewhere between the base or root of the spine and the belly button, third chakra on up to the solar plexus, fourth chakra in the heart, fifth chakra somewhere around the throat, sixth chakra into that third eye center, somewhere between the eyebrows above the bridge of the nose, and then the seventh chakra, crown chakra, at the crown of the head. Let the forehead drop and just feel those energy centers through the middle of your body for a few more breaths. And then pressing down on your palms, come back up onto your hands and knees, or for those with wrist issues, you're welcome to come onto your forearms as we move forward into the practice. There will be several down dogs, but just know you can do your down dog on your forearms. Spread your fingers wide, whether you're on your forearms or on your palms here. Let the knees come a little bit wider, toes a little wider, lift your hips, but keep your knees bent. Now press into the palms and push forward. Feel the belly pull up and in, almost round into the small of the back. Let the head float between both arm bones and slowly begin to straighten your legs as your heels move towards the floor. Feel access now to that lengthening of the spine that we just experienced in our child's pose a little more deeply now in our downward facing dog. Continue to press the palms down and back, heels down towards the floor. Take another breath here. And then lower the knees down once again and come into Vajrasana. Vajrasana with the heels underneath, elevating your sits bones with a cushion or block, or maybe not. Keeping your eyes closed, just feel that energy beginning to move through while I chant from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, all 7 chakra, seed sound, mantra syllables. So as you sit in your breath and stillness, going even more inward, we begin with LAM at the base of the spine. LAM, VAM, RAM, YAM, HAM, OM. And as I chant, I know we have some challenges with Zoom. Follow from the base of the spine, first chakra, LAM, second chakra, somewhere above that root below the belly button, VAM, third chakra, solar plexus, RAM, fourth chakra, heart, YAM. Think of yummy, like yummy, yummy heart. Throat chakra, HAM, third eye center, crown of the head, Om. You all know Om. See if you can follow it on the inside of your own body. I'll do it 2 more times with a little silence in between. You're welcome to do it with me. Take a breath in. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. LAM, VAM, RAM, YAM, HAM, OM. And let's come forward. Sit cross-legged if you can. If not, you can stay in your Vajrasana. Right hand onto our belly, thumb towards the navel, and pinky finger towards the pubic bone. So we'll start by chanting just LAM. As I mentioned, it's connected to an element. In this case, it's the earth. In the body, it's the root, energy of support and stability. As we move towards the light, we need this stability. So we'll chant 3 times and then take a breath, and we'll do that 3 times. Take a breath in, LAM, 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 3 times. Inhale. LAM, LAM, LAM. Actually, let's bring both hands to the belly. That'll be a little more potent. LAM, LAM, LAM. And one more, inhale. Just focus on that area. LAM, LAM, LAM. Release your hands on your thighs and feel. Feel the stability, the rootedness, the connection to the earth. And now bring both hands up to the solar plexus, the seat of the light, of sun, of opening into our potential. Some of you are familiar with Ra as an ancient symbol of the sun. So let's chant Ram, Ram, Ram 3 times for 3 times and see if you can feel that energy around the solar plexus. Not the heart, a little lower. Take a breath in. Ram, Ram, Ram. In fact, let's take the pitch just a little higher. Again. Ram, Ram, Ram. And a 3rd time. Inhale. Ram, Ram, Ram. Release your hands onto your thighs and feel. Notice if you feel a different quality when we chanted LAM versus when we chanted RAM. So this is all experiential, and we'll continue a little bit of that as we move into the practice. Pay attention to your exhale now, adding a little bit of the pranayama. This is a fully integrated practice with chanting, pranayama, asana, and meditation. So as you now notice your breath might feel a little different than it did in the beginning, and see if you can begin to lengthen your exhalation. So your exhale is longer than the inhale. Many of you are familiar with this. Releasing any tension in the throat. If you have a tendency to move automatically and habitually into Ujjayi breath, just relax, let that go. And then at the end of the exhalation, as you lengthen the exhalation, feel a slight lift and tone in the lower belly and feel the pelvic floor muscles lift, accessing that root chakra area. And as you inhale, release that. And again. So this technique of a slight lifting and toning at the end of the exhale is quite stabilizing. And now we're going to bring that into a little movement. So let's come forward onto our hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And just come into a few simple cat and cow, inhaling as the chest comes forward, exhaling as you round your back. Bring your toes under, so you're stretching through the stems of the toes as you inhale and exhale. And now let's add the lengthen exhale and a little drawing up and in of the pelvic floor muscles, and feel that additional bonus of stability. And then one more thing, just pause at the end of that exhale and after you've lifted and toned, and feel that little booster. You may notice it affects your inhale. We call this a suspension of the breath at the end of the exhale, lifting and toning and then pausing. Feel the quality, do a few more of those. And when you're done with that last one, gently shift back into a child's pose, releasing the breath technique, and just feel. Relax the head, the jaw. Notice if there's a different sensation in the front belly area of the body. And then let's come back up into our seated posture. After having experienced that energetic stability in the first chakra, the lower portion of the spine, LAM, now we take it up into the solar plexus area with a little bit of a different focus. Begin once again to inhale and exhale, lengthening the exhale. Just the breath now, no muscular tension. And now begin to match the length of your inhale with what you've established on the exhale. So now you're increasing the inhale the same amount that you increased the exhale, so that you get to the point where you have an even inhalation and an even exhalation, but it is much more expanded than when you started. And now with this even inhale, exhale, begin to focus on expanding the chest, the heart, the ribs, maybe the shoulders squeeze back a little bit at the top of the inhale. And keeping that open as you exhale and relax the breath. Try that a few more times. Feel the ribs expand sideways as well as front and back. And now let's take that into movement, coming forward onto our hands and knees. Once again, moving into a cat and cow, only now maybe it feels a little different. Inhaling the chest forward, exhaling as you round the back. Now this time on the inhale, when you get there, feel the chest expand and pause at the top of the inhale. And then continue as you exhale and round the back. Feel the expansion into the solar plexus, into the light. The earth and the lower part of the body can be thought of as our past, where we've been. And from the waist on up, that can be thought of as our potential. In the solar plexus, our light, where we're moving forward. And now just shift yourself back into child's pose one more time and feel the effects of that retention, we call it, at the top of the inhale. Maybe you have a little more space underneath your armpits. Just see what is true for you. I may offer suggestions, but this is your practice.